Hey guys, it's me Nes, and then I'm going to give my review of NXT episode 2 or NXT after New Year's Eve. So we start first with NXT on January 13, 2026 with last week's recap on everything that happened in New Year's Eve, and then followed by a segment which revealed the future of the NXT Championship. And then it was already announced that we were going to either have a six-man ladder match, if that's the case, that we will get to the next month, which ended up in a brawl while Keanu Carver from I think it was WWE Evolve. I almost said NXT Evolve, but anywho, it became WWE Evolve's star that stood tall. Who knows? We could at least see him to win the NXT championship, but he has to go through a qualifying match to get there. And then followed by, we get a first match, Lola Vice versus Kani Jordan. Lola Vice wins, and it was an okay of a match because I think that to start off NXT with the women's, and they had a feud that dates back a few weeks ago. So we all thought that Kian is gonna get the win because she had to cheat her way, but Lola Vice hit her with a backhand knockout attack or fist that gets the victory. Next one of the match would be Jasper Troy versus Tavian Heights, the men's speed championship in 5 minutes. Jasper Troy wins it, and it's alright. It's just another match that happened last week that determines of who's going to be the next, or is Jasper Troy going to retain, or we will have a new champion. But again, Jasper Troy gets the win. Next one is Blake Monroe made a segment, but it was interrupted by Jada Parker, who is returned to NXT, and it claims to be a babyface now, where she was a heel, but now she became a babyface, and then yes, she stood tall. And then after this segment, we get to the third match, Channing Stacks or Lenzo versus Shiloh Heel. This was another type of match that happens last week, where for Shiloh Hill to take on Stacks in order to take the TNA International Championship, but Stacks wins it. It was alright, but Ariana Grace was there to help Stacks during that situation. And then we get to the another segment. The newly crowned NXT North American Champion Easy Dame was cutting a promo. It's kind of funny because he kind of throw a jab at Blake Monroe. This is the same situation that they have. There are history on X, which is kind of crazy though. But in the end of the day, Tatum Paxley attacks Easy Dame. So their rivalry is not yet finished. They're gonna sell this for the NXT Women's North American Championship match. And then the main event of the match of this episode of NXT would be Joe Hendry versus Dion Lennox. I think the leader of Dark State. And Joe Hendry has OTM with his side, and then you got the Dark State on the other. And then after a big brawl, because again this is a no disqualification, and after a big brawl that happened where OTM is dealing with Dark State, here comes Tony D'Angelo, hits his finisher on Dion Lennox, and then hits on Joe Hendry, but he drags Joe Hendry to cover for the win. Honestly, it was also good despite that Tony D gave both finishers and make Joe, having that victory, which begs the question, what does he want? Does he, going to face against either Lennox or Hendry for the next, qualifying matches in the future? Who knows? And yeah, after Tony D leave the ring, stares down on Ava and then left. And that's all she wrote for NXT episode 2 of January 13th. So that's basically all I can give. Like, the thing is, it's good that we will have a ladder match instead of a regular tournament. This is going to be very, very interesting now. Who's going to advance, and we will see who's going to become the new NXT champion. I thought at one point we are gonna have this in a PLE, but instead they trying to do this in a regular episode, as they say, somewhere in February 3. I could be wrong, but who knows? And yeah, this is gonna be an interesting start for NXT, and that's all I can give. So again, once again, thank you for watching, and we will see each other in the episode 3 of SmackDown. So once again, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see each other in the next episode. Peace.